Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. We're going to wait for a few people to join before I get started. But I hope everybody's having a great day. Happy Boss Sis Brunch Day. I hope everybody's enjoying the first few weeks of summer. It is toasty outside, 95 here in Southern California, where I am. It's crazy. We're about to, our family's going to go out to Phoenix tomorrow, and it is 111 out there. So I used to live there, and let me tell you, I love the warmth and the heat, but it is something to get used to. So I hope you are staying cool wherever you are. So let me I'll wait and see who joins us and then get started. Let me pull up my YouTube on my phone too. Okay. We're good. I'm going to wait one more minute and then we're going to get started. Just want to let people get a chance to join, but I also do want to, make sure I respect your time while you're on. So, okay. All right. All right, y'all, let's get started. Whoever joins us later can catch up, or you can catch us on the replay. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Bear with me one sec while I get that going. All right, I think we're ready. Okay, so first of all, I want to say welcome to Boss Sis Brunch. If this is your first time with us, Boss Sis Brunch is a free weekly workshop where women entrepreneurs come together and learn simple, practical ways to attract more clients, save time, and really build a business that doesn't depend on you doing everything manually. So grab your coffee, your tea, your water. That's what I'm having today, mimosa, or whatever you're sipping on, and make yourself comfortable. I like to call this a brunch because that is a fun way to connect with other women. This is the experience that I want to give to you all, is to sit down and share with other women that are also business owners, to understand different concepts and different things to help you with running your business easier and better for you, and enjoying your life. So before we get started, I'd love everyone to introduce themselves in the chat. If you can tell us your name, what you do, where you're joining us from. If you are watching on the replay, you can also just put that information in the comments. I'd love to know who you are, how you found Sassy Boss, and just share who you are and more about yourself. So today's question I want you to also answer is, what part of content creation takes the longest for you? So is it coming up with ideas? Is it writing captions? Is it taking pictures, recording videos, editing, remembering what to post? Drop whatever that is in the chat. I already know you are not alone in this. We all struggle with some part of this content creation game. So please post that in the chat. So I'm going to go first. Let me check and just make sure nobody's popped in. So I'll go first. I'm Chelsea. I am the founder of Sassy Boss Marketing Agency. I help women entrepreneurs attract more clients, save time, and simplify their marketing with AI, automation, and easy to use business systems. So for me, content creation used to be really difficult. It felt like a full-time job. And if you are just meeting me or don't know much about me, I have a 17-month-old, 1 year, 5-month-old daughter. And since becoming a mother, I decided to leave my 9 to 5 and start my own business. So um, I'm going all in on my business, but content creation, when you have a little toddler running around can be a lot. Coming up with the idea, writing the caption, finding the right image, creating the graphic, recording the videos, editing, posting, and then doing it all over again the next day. It becomes a lot. So if you've felt like content creation takes too much time, too much energy, and too much mental space, then today I created this Boss Sis Brunch for you, because we're going to talk about how content creation is changing now that we have AI. It can help us create with more ease, with more support, and less starting from scratch. Of course, we still want to put our own spin on it. We don't want it to sound robotic or like everybody else. It's not to replace your creativity, but we do want to help you get your time back. So take a sip of whatever you're drinking. I'm about to drink some water, and let's get started. Hold on, let me drink some water real quick. Okay. So let's start with the real reasoning that content feels so overwhelming, right? We kind of talked about it already. The internet gurus love to tell us post consistently. Just post consistently. Post 5 times a day, which is a lot. For somebody who has other things going on in their life, or maybe you have another job, a full-time job, or maybe you have children, you have your life, you have other things going on, right? So that's a lot. But what does post consistently actually mean, right? Because before you ever hit publish, there are 10 things that have to happen first. You got to come up with the idea. Not just any idea. The idea has to connect with your audience. It has to show your expertise. It has to make sense for your business, right? Then you have to figure out the angle. Am I teaching something? Am I telling a story? Am I sharing a tip? Am I promoting an offer? Am I trying to be inspiring and educational, funny, relatable, right? Then you have to write a caption. And that can take forever because you want it to sound like yourself. Even if you already are using AI to write your captions, we don't want to just copy and paste it and just go on with it, right? We want it to sound like you. You want to sound professional. You don't want it to be boring, but you don't want it to be too salesy. There's so many angles to this, right? And then you need the visual. Do you want a picture? Do you want a graphic? Should it be a carousel? Should it be a reel? What's the most popular thing right now? What's going viral? Do you need to record yourself? Are you presentable today in order to record yourself? Do you have good lighting? Is your background clean? If it's a video, now you need editing, right? Then add captions and trim the ums and the awkward parts, right? And pick a cover and find the audio and write the text overlay. It's so much involved. After that, you still have to post it. Now they tell you to post it at the right time, right? It has to post at 12 o'clock, 8 a.m. and 12 o'clock. That's what I've heard, right? And that seems to work for a lot of people, but it can be overwhelming to have to think about, oh, now I have to remember to post it at this certain time, right? So that's when it starts to become a lot. And you start basically becoming a whole content team by yourself. The content strategist, the copywriter, the designer, the video editor, you're everything, the photographer. You are everything by yourself. And so for many of us, we were doing all of that in between client calls, appointments, emails, kids, errands, dinner, laundry, and just trying to have a life. So, of course, content can feel like a full-time job. So, today I'm going to show you a different way. So, let's talk about how most people are using AI right now. Actually, let me look. I think I want to make sure there's no comments or anything. Okay, no comment yet. Let's talk about most people are using AI right now. So honestly, this is where most of us start. We open up ChatGPT and we say, write me a caption, or give me 10 content ideas, or make me a flyer. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a helpful place to start. That's where we all start, right? But that's also why so much AI content is starting to look and sound the same. I don't know about you, girl, but every flyer I see on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, everything is looking the same. ChatGPT tends to put way too much information on one flyer. So a lot of times it has too much information, too much to read for one person to read. It's overwhelming. It also there's things that it tends to do. It has the same fonts that it uses. That's a one scripty font that it always uses and one bold font that it always uses. And then it uses very fake looking people on the images. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand. Look, I have done it too, and I sometimes still do utilize chat to create flyers and different things for my business. The difference I would say is make sure you are asking it very specifically how what you want it to look like, and what I would minimize the amount of information that's on there, all of that. So that's all. That's I'm gonna get off my soapbox on that, but I just really wanted to say, like, hey, it's all starting to look the same, because a lot of us are using AI like a microwave meal. So think of it like this: microwave content is quick, right? Quick prompt in, quick content out, done in minutes. And sometimes that gets the job done. That's cool, no judgment, at all. But if we're going to be honest, it doesn't have as much flavor that way, right? It may not feel as personal. It may not sound like you. It may not feel connected to your actual business. It's quick, but it also feels generic, and it's forgettable. Okay. Now think about a home cooked meal. And it doesn't have to be complicated. And it's not, I'm not talking about a meal that has to take you all day, but it has to have real ingredients. So it has seasoning, it has flavor, it has intention. It feels like somebody made it with care, AI works the same way. If you give it a quick, plain request, it gives you a quick, plain content. But if you give it better ingredients, it'll help you create something much stronger. Your voice, your audience, your offer, your examples, your story, your client questions, your brand personality, the goal for your posts. And that's where AI starts working differently. And if you don't know what to give it, and I'm going to give you more information about exactly what to give it, but if for whatever reason you open it up and you don't know what to give it, right? Ask it to interview you. Hey, I'm a business owner. I want to create 30 days of content, but interview me and ask me what you need to know in order to make this sound like me and my business and brand, and it'll start prompting or asking you questions. So if you stop giving random content and start helping it, if you stop giving it random content, it's going to start helping you create content that feels more aligned with your brand. And that's the shift that I want to make today. I don't want it to replace you. It's here to help you bring your voice to life faster. You still have to lead it. You still have to tell it what matters, who you're talking to, who your audience is, but you get better content. So today, I'm not going to show you how to ask for AI for a caption. I'm going to show you how to guide AI through a real content creation process. And we ain't microwave microwaving content today, girl. Like, we're not doing that. We're seasoning it with love and with care. Okay. So let me show you what you need to do. So since we know that it works better with better ingredients, what are those ingredients, right? Because this is a part that makes the biggest difference. Before you ask AI to create content, you got to give it context. Tell it what you do, who you help, what your audience is struggling with. Tell it the questions people are asking you for. Like what and specifically in your business, what do people ask you about? It needs to know your offer or the next step that you want people to take. And it needs to know your brand voice. How do you talk to your folks? What do you say? I use words like sis, queen, girl, that's just part of my branding, and so just think of it that way. Like, what do you say to your audience that makes them know it's you, right? So by doing this, turns random, AI random content generator into something that actually supports your business. Instead of typing, write me an Instagram caption, you might say, I'm a med spa and I help women look refreshed and natural. And my audience is nervous about Botox because they don't want to look frozen. Write me a warm, assuring caption that explains how natural looking Botox depends on the provider, the placement, and the dosage. And with a soft invitation to book a consultation. We're going to go into that more detail, but that is a prompt that is going to generate better results for you. It's a completely different request. Now AI has something that it can work with, and it knows your business and your audience, and it knows their fears, and it knows your goals, and it knows the tone. And that is how you start getting content to feel more specific, more helpful, and more connected to people that want to reach, that you actually want to reach. So I'm going to go into a demo in a minute. But before I do, I want you to watch how I give AI these ingredients first. I'm not just going to ask it for random content. I'm going to give it the business, the audience, the struggles, the questions, the offer, the voice. Okay. And then we can create it from there. So let me show you what those ingredients actually can turn into. So again, I don't want to just talk about content creation. I want you to see it. We're going to use AI to help us create a 30-day content plan. So you're not waking up every morning wondering what to post. Then we're going to take one of those ideas and we're going to turn it into hooks and captions and you have words to go with the post, right? And then I'm going to show you that same idea, how it can be branded into a visual on Canva through a post or a carousel. And then I'll show you a little bit later. Well, first I'm going to show you how to schedule it all out in advance. So you can set it once and forget it. You take 1 or 2 days. I don't know if you want to do 1 day a week or 1 day a month, whatever works for you. But sit down and do all your content for the month. Sit down for like an hour or even an hour or two. Pump out the content, post it, be done, right? And then I promised you the fun side of AI, where I'm going to actually show you a preview of how images can be turned into videos, and we're going to show show you how you can create an AI twin, a clone of yourself. And I'm not going to go into the full tutorial today because I think that deserves its own Boss Sis Brunch, and I don't want to overwhelm you with too many tools at once. But I do want you to see what's possible. And then we'll talk about the final step of getting, like I said, of getting everything scheduled so that you don't have to think about it anymore. And that's the goal. The goal is really just to feel lighter. So think of it this way. If you plan it, write it, create it, repurpose it, schedule it, the content is done for the week, or for the month. So let's go into our demo so I can show you exactly how to do this. Okay, so let me exit out of here. Okay, so what we're gonna do, here with me, y'all. I gotta find here it is. Okay, so first what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to ChatGPT. Okay. And in ChatGPT, and I'm actually, what I'll do is I'll prepare prompts for you, and I will put it in the comments, or the description of this video. So you click the link, and then I'll fill out the form with your email and information, and I will email you the prompts. Okay. So make it easier for you. So we're gonna pretend like we're a med spa. Okay. So I came up with a fake name, Glow Haven Med Spa. Okay. So you're going to give it this prompt, fill in the information about your specific business, and then it's going to create a 30-day calendar for you. So this is the prompt. You are a content strategist helping me create content for a med spa. Business name, Glow Haven Med Spa. What do? We help women look refreshed, confident, and natural with services like Botox, custom facials, chemical peels, microneedling, and skin consultations. Who we help women ages 30 to 55 who want healthier skin, a refreshed appearance, and natural looking results without looking overdone. Okay. What the audience struggles with: they are interested in treatments but feel nervous about looking fake. They are not sure which treatment is right for them. They want to age gracefully, but don't know where to start. They have skin concerns like dullness, fine lines, acne scars, texture, uneven tone. They're busy and want treatments that fit into their lifestyle, and they want to trust the provider before booking. So it gets really deep into detail, and that's important. Like, you want to make sure that you are telling it all the problems that they have and what are they thinking about, right? And then from there, common questions they ask: will Botox make me look frozen? What treatment is best for glowing skin? How often should I get a facial? And on and on. There's, as you can see, there's quite a few questions there. The main offer: you want them to book a skin consultation so that you can then have them book a session with you, right? But they want a consultation first, to review their skin and see if they are the best fit for your business. The brand voice is important. How do you want it to talk? So it says warm, professional, reassuring, educational, simple, and not pushy. Okay. Create content that educates, builds trust, answers common questions, and encourages people to book a consultation. And then I tell it what to do. Create a 30-day Instagram content calendar. Okay. And I tell it what to do. Use a mix of teaching posts, carousel posts, reels, short videos, story prompts, behind the scenes posts, and invitations, or CTA. That means call to action, which is what action do you want them to take? Posts. And then for each day, include day number. So this gets into detail about exactly how I want it to be presented to on the chart, on the graph that it's about to create. Day number, content format, post topic, hook, short caption idea, and CTA. Make sure the content is warm, helpful, educational, reassuring. Avoid sounding too salesy, generic, or robotic. Okay, so then it created this calendar. Let's see if it'll let me. So it has a day, format, topic, hook, caption, CTA. And it gave me all 30 days, right? Now, that's a lot. But it's really cool. It's already all thought out for you. And you can give it, if you have like main topics that you talk about in your business all the time. So if in this case, it's a med spa, and they talk about, we talk about the main questions about Botox. We talk about how to care for your skin. We talk about, I don't know, there's the transformations that we bring to our clients, right? So whatever that is, right? If you have 3 main things that you talk about, you want to make sure that you tell that to the AI, and then it's going to put that into your content. Okay, so it gave us a whole bunch of information. That's wonderful, right? So what I would normally do is I copy all of that information and I put it into like a document or a spreadsheet, so that I can keep track of that. And then it says, okay, let's take this content idea and turn it into one Instagram post. So for the sake of time today, we're gonna create one. Okay, so I just said, take one Instagram carousel post with a caption. The content idea: will Botox make me look frozen? That's something that I'm sure a lot of people are scared about if they were to utilize Botox. So and I still give it the more information about the audience, right? The goal. And then I say create a 6-slide Instagram carousel outline. Okay. And then I tell it even how many words to include. I want it to be short, clear copy, one Instagram caption, and then a soft CTA to book a skin consultation, right? So then here it goes. It gives me Instagram carousel. So slide 1, it tells exactly what, will Botox make me look frozen? And it goes into all the detail about why it's not going to make you look frozen if you get Botox at this particular med spa clinic. Okay. And then at the bottom, it has the Instagram caption that we requested, right? And then I even asked it, hey, I want it to sound a little more natural. And I had it write me another caption, but I actually like the first one better. So now what do we do? Okay. So now that we have done that, we're going to say, okay, we're going to take this information and we're going to go into Claude. So right now we're using ChatGPT. We're going to go into Claude. Through Claude, I actually have I have the pro version. So I can connect it to different tools. Claude has an option where it can connect to different tools, and you type in it and it'll create different things for you in the tool. So let me show you. So I connected it to Canva. This is crazy because I've been using Canva forever, and I'm sure if you do any content creation of any kind or anything, I'm sure a lot of us use Canva. So knowing that you can connect it to Claude, basically Claude will do the work for you and it will edit in Canva for you by connecting it. So let me show you. This is so exciting. This is where I become a tech nerd because it's exciting. Where technology is taking us. Okay, so I literally took from ChatGPT, just so you know, where it says create actually no, I asked ChatGPT to give me a prompt for Claude with this information about the med spa. So I just asked it based on that, and then I copied the carousel that it created. I copied that information just right into the prompt, and then I sent it to Claude. Right now, remember, I've already connected Claude to Canva. Actually, let me show you really, really, really quick where you can do that, because how exciting is this? So you can actually go in here and you can go to connectors in your settings. You can connect it to so much stuff: Gmail, Google Drive, Higgsfield. We're going to go into that next week. So many things that you can connect it to: Notion, Slack, whatever your tools you're using. Connect it, because then it can make it easier for you to give a better output. So I just wanted to show you that really quickly. So you just go in here and click add, and then Canva is one of the options. You click it and it connects, and then you just sign into your Canva and it creates it. It connects it to Claude. Okay, so I put in that prompt that we talked about, right? And then it pulled up Canva and it says, okay. And then it kind of gave me a summary of what I already gave it about how I want the slides to be for my carousel. And it says, do you want to customize it, or do you just want to generate it the way that I created it? And I said, yeah, just generate it, right? So Um, it did that, and then I said, oh, and then it generated these 4 designs for me. So, will Botox make me look frozen? That looks nice. It looks like it's a spa package, right? Will Botox make me look frozen? That looks like an AI image. Not as much of a fan of that one, right? But I'm glad it gives me options. Same with this one. Will Botox, it doesn't even say the whole thing on there. So that one kind of messed up a little bit. And this last one, will Botox make me look frozen? I like that one too. So I'm a fan of 1 and 4. So I basically told it, well, you know what? After looking at these, and I just want to show you one of them so you can kind of see, it actually gives me all of the images. If I scroll down here, it just shows me all of them. And then I say, I was like, can you make the writing a little more bold? It looks a little small. It should say elegant and relaxing and comfortable and spa-like feel, but large enough to read clearly, right? So it did it with all 4 designs for me. And then it pulled them up in Canva for me. So I'm going to show you. Hold on. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to show you. I actually resized them. I said, are these carousel size? Because I noticed that they look large, right? They looked more like landscape and not like a carousel. Like a carousel image, right? So it said, no, these are actually generated in presentation slides, not carousel dimensions. Would you like me to resize them? Yes, please. Resize all 4 of them. So it resized them for me. And that's the ones that I actually opened and saved. And then I said, you know what? I really like designs 1 and 4. But all the elements have been moved. So when you resize an image in Canva, it kind of moves some of the stuff around. So you want to just make sure that it resizes it. And then I'm literally just having a conversation with Claude, and it's making these changes. So let me show you what it created. So then it says both were fixed. And it even tells me what it did, right? So this is 1. So I kind of want to show you exactly what it looks like. I just click the image and it opens up in my Canva. And of course, I can adjust these elements if it's like, oh, okay, I want this to look a little bigger, or I want whatever you want on there, you can adjust, right? But it's a good starting point. This is the second one. The goal isn't to change your face, and it goes into detail about that. What frozen really means, personalized approach is key. So customized treatments for natural results. So it's telling them that, the only reason people look frozen with Botox is because they don't have a personalized custom treatment. So it goes into detail about that. And then it says Botox doesn't have to be dramatic. And it kind of goes into more detail about Botox. And then every face is unique. And then lastly, it talks about the call to action. You're still not sure? Let's chat. And then, of course, what I would put here is book a free skin consultation with me or something like that. But for the sake of the fact that it's created this without me doing anything, I literally just gave it a prompt and it actually created it for me. I'm going to show you the other one too. I have to probably go in here and let me make it a little bigger so you can see a little better. I probably have to go in here and edit a little bit of the resizing because it kind of moves some things around. And even though I had it fix it didn't fix it all the way that I wanted it to. I mean, it gave me, like I said, a good starting point. But this is the other version of it. Like I said, the writing is a little small. I would make it larger, but it looks really good. It looks really good. It looks natural. This AI generated image looks actually very real. You can see like the pores on this woman and like details of her skin and blemishes and stuff. I mean, these images are starting to look so real. And then so it's the same thing. Every face is unique, and then it has the call to action slide at the end. Okay. So just for sake of time, I went ahead and I downloaded this one. fixed it a little bit, and I downloaded it. So I want to show you, now that I've created this carousel, how to schedule it to go out to your onto your Instagram. So I have a tool called, I call it, it's my Saasy Boss software. Okay. And this particular tool allows me to do everything in my business. Everything from keeping track of all of my leads, all of my contacts, all of my clients. It has it's connected to my Google Calendar. It's connected to my my payment system, so I can actually send invoices and payment links to people so they can pay me for different services. It's robust. It has a lot. It has AI agents that can go out and do things for you. It can like a chat bot that you can have connect to your Instagram, and all. It does so much stuff in this particular system. And also you can also build websites on it, and funnels. If you're not familiar with what a funnel is, just basically the steps that you want people to take to book service with you. But it has so much stuff, and it's very robust. But one of the things that it has is a social media scheduler. So I'm going to show you. So it's under marketing here. I went here and I went to the social planner. And on here, I already connected my Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and TikTok to it. So I can actually go in here and click new post. I'm going to show you. Okay, so I let's just, for sake of time, I'm just going to say we're posting on Instagram, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'll go in here and I take that. Remember it created that Instagram caption for us. I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to copy the Instagram caption. Okay, copy. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload the images. So I already uploaded the images in this system. It has what it calls a media storage. So anything that, like your videos or your photos that you want to say, or even like PDFs, if you want to save them in there, and let's say you want to send it out, even send it in an email, or in this case, upload it into your Instagram and that kind of thing. It's all saved in the system. So I uploaded the 6 images. I think it's 6. Yeah, 6 images on here. So I would just go in here and I would select them. They're not in order. For whatever reason, when I uploaded them, they didn't come out in order. I just need to put them in order once I upload them. So I'm going to insert files, and they're going to pop up. How come not all of them came up? That's all right. I don't know why not all of them came up. It's all right, y'all. Insert files. Okay, now I did it twice. But you just need to make it first. Oh my gosh. It like duplicated them. Okay, user error, y'all. Let me start over. But basically, you would go in here and you're going to put all the images on here, right? So once all of them are in there, and they're in there in the right order, you can go in and say, okay, now that I have this done, and I have the caption done, and you can actually even write it with AI here. So it actually has AI implemented into the tool. So if you wanted to rewrite it or change it, or write the caption over for you, it can. Okay. And then from there, you want to post this into your feed. You can even invite collaborators. Let's say you have somebody that you're doing you have a connection with. You can actually collaborate with them. So you can actually put in their Instagram username there, and then it'll ask them to be connected to this particular post. So from here, you can post it directly, right now to your Instagram if you'd like, or you can schedule for later. So it actually has schedule posts, send post for approval. Let's say I'm doing this for another business, because remember I have a marketing agency. So let's say I'm helping another business with their posts. I could send it for approval. I could schedule reoccurring posts, so I can post multiple times. I can add it to a queue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say schedule post, and then let's say I want to post it tomorrow, the 9th, and I want to post it at whatever time. 8 a.m. So I'm going to go in here and I say, I want this to go out at 8 a.m. And I can just go in and schedule the post. And what even tells you the best times to post. Look at that. So, and that wasn't there until recently. That's really good. So you actually can go in here. Let me find it. It actually has a calendar. The calendar view. They have changed this thing around a little bit. Oh, right here, calendar view. So I can actually go in here and I can move them around. So let's say, oh, I don't want to do it on Thursday. I want to do it on Friday. I can move it. So this is a really cool tool that helps you schedule everything for you. And then you would just do it for each one. Now, for sake of time, I didn't do it the way that I'm about to tell you, but what you could do, and probably one of the easier things you can do, is you can ask the AI to create 30 posts for you, or 15 posts, and then, or however many, right? And actually, I'm going to show you in the next Boss Sis Brunch. I'm going to go into more detail about this, but then you can actually, if you want to do reels or video created content, you can actually have Claude create that for you, which is exciting. So this is, but this is mainly like still images, carousels and still images that you can post through Canva. I'm sure you could actually have it do like a reel and any of those things. I haven't tested it that way. But we're going to actually use what we call Higgsfield to create AI images and AI generated videos. I'm going to show you how to do that next week. But I wanted to at least give you an example of what this would look like. But like I said, if you want to do 30 posts, you can do it all at one time. And that way you could just go in and save them on here. So that way you took one idea to 30 ideas, and then made posts with it. So I hope this is helpful in helping you save some time, because we all need to save time. So let's go back to the presentation. Okay, let me pull it back up. Here it is. Okay. And let me see, is there any questions? No questions. That's all right. And if you're just joining us, if you have any questions or anything in regards to what we just went over, please feel free to share. If you have any best practices or anything that you know that has helped you, please share in the comments or share in the chat today. Okay. All right. So let's move to the next one. So now that we have done that, I don't want to leave. I always want to leave you with a challenge. We call it a challenge, where you take back what we've learned this week and you implement it in your own business. So I want you to turn one idea into a mini content batch, okay? Start by giving AI better ingredients. Remember, don't just say write a caption. You want to tell it who you help, tell it what your audience is struggling with, tell it what you offer, your brand voice. Tell it the content that you typically do. Again, educational posts. Do you do transformational posts where you show them before and after? Do you want to tell a personal story, or do you want to ask them for the sale? Ask them for the sale. A call to action post. But then you ask AI to create a 30-day content plan. You don't have to use this whole plan right away. We just want to have a starting point. And then you pick one idea from that plan, just one. This is the challenge for today. If you can just pick one idea from that, like I just did. We don't want to do the whole month at once. We're just going to pick one. And then from there, create a carousel or a post from it. Write a caption, add your voice, make it sound like your brand, save it and schedule it. I know I have my Saasy Boss tool that, and if you're interested in utilizing a tool similar to what I have or utilizing my tool, please, you know what, I'll post a link in the comments if you're interested in that. Or, you can always shoot me a comment or an email. info@saassyboss.com, and Saasy is SAASYBOSS.com, and I will be happy to show you how to utilize that tool. But there's a lot of other tools that are out there that you can utilize to schedule, and I highly recommend that, so you're not posting every time right away. Or posting right when you make it. you want to schedule it out so you can batch it into one time and not have to think about it anymore. Okay. And once you do it once, you can repeat the process again as many times as you like. And that's how you start to make your content feel lighter. You sit down in one afternoon and you just batch this content and put it together, and you created a system that you don't have to think about it anymore. Do it once and don't have to think about it anymore. So let's get your content scheduled. Before we move on, I want to hear from you. If you have any questions, drop in the chat. What's one content idea you want AI to help you create this week? Is there anything that you're like, I really wish or want to do this and I haven't been able to do this? You can drop that in the chat. Okay. It could be a question that people always ask you, a tip that you're always repeating, a story about your business, a service you want more people to know about, anything you've been meaning to post but just haven't had the time to create yet. Okay. So before we end, I want to tell you about what's coming next week, because this is going to be exciting. So this week we talked a lot about, we're starting to talk more about content. And this whole month, I'm going to talk to you a little more about content, because I'm getting a lot of people asking a lot of questions about that. And I really want to show you how to make it easier for you and for your business and how to automate this process. So next week, we're going to talk about how to clone yourself with AI. Okay. So you're going to learn, that is how you can take basically one photo and turn it into fresh content ideas. Because one of the hardest parts about creating content is that you always have to be ready. Your hair has to be done. Your makeup has to be done. Your outfit has to look right. Your house has to be presentable, right? Lighting has to be good. Baby has to be quiet. In my case, if you have kids, they have to be occupied. You need a free hour to record. You need energy to show up on camera and give it your all. And by the time all of that lines up, something there's always something that comes in the way, and then content doesn't get created. So with an AI twin, that's where it can be such a powerful content asset. Imagine having a few photos of yourself that you use to create fresh content images without scheduling any photo shoots every month. You can basically take this image and then change, be able to change the outfit, put the twin in different settings, different backgrounds, different branding looks from one photo of yourself. Um, and then imagine, taking that image and then turning it into a short video or a reel or a promo or a story or an announcement or an ad. Um, so even if you're home with the kids, your hair is not done, you don't have to worry about having your makeup on or having time to film. Your business can still show up. And that's the power of building a content library with AI. And it gives you options and flexibility and more visual content to work with. Okay. So I want to show you a little bit about, I'm going to show you in more detail next week about how you can make these images and make these videos. I promised you that I would show you a little bit of a preview today. So, I'm going to do that, to make sure that you can see what it could look like if you were able to clone yourself with AI. Because sometimes we don't always have the time to do what we want to do as far as getting this content done, and life be life. So you want to make sure that you have an option so that even if you're unable to film the content gets done. Okay. So here is an AI twin preview. Again, I'm going to show you the full step-by-step tutorial on how to do it next week. Like, again, I really think this deserves a whole Boss Sis Brunch, and there's so many tools and different things I don't want to confuse you with so much. But we're going to dig deeper into this next week, and I wanted you to see why this is so powerful. So on the left is a real image. That's real Chelsea. On the left, me on a cruise a few years ago, 2023. And that was a quick selfie snap before we went to dinner. Okay. And it's a simple selfie. It's not fancy. It's not a brand shoot. It's not in a studio. There's no perfect lighting. It's a regular photo. Okay. On the right, you can see what one photo that I put that one put that one photo into the system, and I got these beautiful photos of myself. And it shows lifestyle images and different looks. My hair is curly in some, straight in others. It's in different settings. I even told it like this one is in Miami, or this one is in, I think, it was in Hawaii. I was told it to just give me different settings. This one is just on, I'm on the street with my laptop working. This one's in my cozy living room, right? But I'm in different settings. So that's, by doing that, I can have branded photos, lifestyle content, and video assets ready to go. And I don't always have to be camera ready to do this. So let me show you. Now that you see that what's possible with the images, let me show you what's possible with the videos. Okay. Again, I'm going to show you how to do this next week. So let's start with the vid. So I'm going to show you two B-roll videos and a talking head video. So let's start with the first B-roll video. Me walking down the street from one of those images that I just showed you, right? Okay, let's show you the next one. Yeah, me walking down the street. Me walking down the street in Miami with my two-piece top on. Might be, this is true manifestation at its best. Like you putting yourself exactly where you want to be and how you want to look. So I love this. And then talking head video. says the future is actually insane. I don't know if so. In the video that I'm looking at on one screen, it showed like its lips are synced to the video. I'm not sure if you can see it that same way, so I hope you were able to see that. But it looks really, really like me talking, and that's my actual voice. Clone my voice, and I can show you more details on how to do that too. But I actually cloned my voice, um, gave it a script, connected it to a video, and there is my talking head video. Okay, so now you can kind of get an idea of what that looks like, and we're going to go into more detail next week. But before I wrap up, I love to answer any questions you have. Let me see if there's anybody in the chat. Using my story to promote services. I love that. The Advantage Counselor. Oh, hey, Tamika. How you doing, girl? Sorry, I missed the comment earlier. But if anybody has any questions about anything that we covered today, you can ask me. I know it went really fast, but I really wanted to make sure you had so much value. So I try to give as much demonstration as possible to show you that you can do it, that it's that it no, I don't want to say it's easy, but it has become more. You have way more support to create content and create the value that you want for your customers, because the whole point of the reason we create content to begin with is because we want more visibility to show up, and so our customers even know about our business or who we are. And that goes back to, I know we talked about this in our previous Boss Sis Brunch, but I want to talk about why content is important, right? And keep in mind too, some of this content that you can create, it can be not just organic content, you can create ads with it, which is basically organic content, but you just have paid for it for them to push it out to the right people. But you can utilize the same content. But yes, anyway, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. If no questions come in, I can answer a few questions that I know that come up sometimes. Let me see the chat. Nobody in the chat. So let's talk about some of the questions I get. So let me look at my list of questions, see if there's any that. One of the questions I get, and I kind of answered this already, what if I don't know what content ideas to give AI? And again, that's totally normal. But the best place to start is to have AI interview you. Start with what's already happening in your business, right? So think about, ask it to ask you questions about your business, but also I want you to think about what people ask you all the time. Think about the problems that your clients are currently having, about the tips you repeat over and over. Think about things that people need to understand before they work with you. And remember, the sale comes from people, if you can alleviate a pain or help them get to a desire quicker, you've triggered some emotion in them, and they're going to want to learn more about you and about your business. Okay, so just remember those things. So, but think about those things, and then remember that those are your content seeds or content pillars. That's what you start with, like maybe 5 strong ideas from your business, and then let AI turn those ideas into different types of content. You just want to repurpose the same things. I don't know if you've watched certain people on YouTube or anything like that. A lot of them say the same things over and over. So you want to, or I want to say the same things in different ways. So you just want to make sure that you have those core things that you talk about and just say them again and again. I already answered this question. Let's see. I'm running out of time, so I just want to make sure I respect your time. One of the questions I get is like, do I need to use all these AI tools? No, absolutely not. Um, I don't want you to think you need 10 subscriptions, right? You can start with one tool and use the ones that are free. ChatGPT is free. Claude is free. They have free. All of them have free. I won't say all. Those two have free versions. But if you want to utilize them the way that I was using, like for instance, Claude, and the way I was using it today and connecting it to different tools, I believe you need the pro version in order to do that. But even if you use chat and have it create your 30-day content calendar, and then you go in Canva yourself and create it, you can do that. And even Canva has AI implemented in it that will create a carousel for you. So there's so many tools available to you that are free or low cost. Even the pro plan of ChatGPT and of Claude are both only $20 a month. So it's not crazy amount of money. But yeah, start with one tool. We just really, really want to start with one real idea for your business and let your AI basically turn it into content for you. Is AI replacing my creativity? I get a lot of questions about, is AI going to replace me or replace who I am? And I would say no. AI is not replacing your creativity. It's really helping you not start from scratch anymore. I think it's still important you feed it your stories, your voice, who you are, your experience, what you've been through. All of that matters. People want to hear about that. But I think it allows you to organize it in a way, generate ideas from what you've experienced, and be able to put it into a format that is digestible and easy for people to take in. Yeah, but just let it help you organize your ideas, write drafts, create visuals, move faster. That's the biggest thing, is especially in the world that we live in today, we got to move fast. We got to figure out how we can get things going quicker. Things are changing every single day, especially when it comes to technology and content creation and the algorithm and AI and all of those things. So you have to stay on top of it if you're going to be successful. Every major motivational speaker that I follow now is talking about it, how AI is affecting all of us. And at some point in our lifetime, AI is no longer going to be this thing that you have the option to not use anymore. It honestly is going to be, it'll be as strange. Not using AI will be as strange as not using electricity. It's going to be part of our everyday lives. It already has been, even prior to all the things it's doing now. It already has been. If you use Siri or you use Alexa, I'm saying it low because she'll pop on. Or if you're using anything like that, it's all AI. It's all artificial intelligence. So just think of it as support, not a substitute. You're still the expert. Let's see if there's any questions. No questions. And I'm past the hour. I'm sorry, y'all. I want to make sure we get through everything. I think I've pretty much answered all of these things for you. So if any questions come up, please feel free to drop them in the comments if you're watching the replay. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. Okay, before you go, let's end the way that every good brunch should. We're going to raise our coffee, our tea, our water, our mimosa, or whatever we're sipping on today. I have not drinking any water, y'all. This is sad. Okay, here's to creating with more ease. Here's to showing up with more consistency, even when life gets busy. Here's to letting AI support our ideas, our creativity, and our business. Here's to saving time without losing without losing your voice, your authentic voice. Here's to taking imperfect action. You got to take action, 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 action. Action takers are going to be the ones that make the money. Okay. Not, here's to not waiting until we have the perfect caption, the perfect photo, just taking the next step. May your ideas be consistent. May your content be become a connection with you and your audience. May your systems help show up without you doing everything manually. And may you build a business that gives you more room to breathe, more time to create, and more freedom to enjoy the life you've been working so hard to create. Cheers, bosses. I'll see you next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for our next Boss Sis Brunch. Be excited. We are going to, like I said, we're going to build those AI clones. I cannot wait. Can't wait to see you there. See you next time.